What's going on, everybody? It's Space Cowboy here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we got to talk about some supposed interest in linebacker Anthony Barr from the Minnesota Vikings. He's been a free agent for quite some time, and supposedly there is mutual interest if the price is right. And I hate that saying because Stephen Jones irks the utter living hell out of me. But before we get started, if you guys could do me a favor and like the video, doesn't take too long to do and helps it perform better in YouTube's algorithm, that would be great. On top of that, if you guys could subscribe as well, that'd be greatly appreciated. Doesn't take too long to do whatsoever. We're close to 8,000 subscribers, so if we can reach that goal, that'd be greatly appreciated. And thank you all for watching the videos. And hit the notification bell as well if you haven't done so already. So, if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I absolutely despise Stephen Jones with a burning passion because every time he says something like, we're not done in free agency, talent acquisition is 24/7, 365, you know, at the end of the day, there's only so much pie to go around. All that crap he says just gets on my nerves, and it's something that I gotta wait to see it. Like, I am not, like, completely out of the realm of thinking that the Cowboys are interested in adding people to the roster. My problem is that how realistic is it that the Cowboys will at least add one guy where I'm like, okay, that's a solid free agent signing? Because let's keep this in mind. The Cowboys have only signed 3 outside free agents, ladies and gentlemen. 3. You got a wide receiver 3/2 in James Washington, a backup DN possibly, or rotation piece in Dante Fowler, and Ryan Nall, whatever the hell his name is, your special teams guy. That's it. That's all the Cowboys have brought in. The rest have been from the draft, and they brought back a solid amount of their players, but that's besides the point. The Dallas Cowboys adding a guy like Anthony Barr would be interesting to say the least, but my question is like, how does that impact your linebacking core, and like, does it sense, like, what does it mean? Like, that is the biggest thing. First things first, the Cowboys can do it if they want to. They got plenty of cap space. I don't have to go down that route. If you go to overthecap.com, you can see it. The Cowboys have plenty of room to sign a couple of guys if they want to. Now, this has been said by plenty of other sources, which I showed to you on the screen. The Cowboys are interested if the price makes sense to them, which we all know how that goes. You have to bend the knee to whatever Stephen Jones wants to pay you, or you ain't coming in here. So, let's say the Cowboys do sign Anthony Barr. Let's say he becomes a Dallas Cowboy. You know, what does he bring to the table? Okay, well, you know, he's in his 30s. Right, he missed 6 games last year, but like, he's been a pretty decent player. Like, he's been relatively productive, I would say, and you know, when you think about it, by adding another guy that is a solid linebacker, you take less pressure off of Micah Parsons to do everything, which I have stressed in the offseason you have to do if you want to make him as effective as you want him to be. The biggest question mark with adding a guy like Anthony Barr is, well, can you make the room for it? What does it mean for the young guys? Or are you going to stunt their growth? Well, when you take a look at this linebacking core, right, you got Micah Parsons, Jabril Cox, LVE, and Luke Gifford back on 1-year deals. You have Devin Harper and Damone Clark, your 2 rookies, and Devontae Bond. All right, so you got those are your guys in your linebacking core. So let's say you add an Anthony Barr into that mix, right? Well, where does he go? You know, this kind of puts you in a situation where you're like, well, do you cut Leighton? Do you cut Luke Gifford? Do you cut Devontae? Like, there's a lot of room that you're going to have to make, especially if you're set on having Anthony Barr there. And, you know, people might say it's easier said than done, but, you know, let's be real here. If Anthony Barr is coming in, it's going to be for 1 year, and I would say that is probably going to be a situation to where Damone Clark isn't healthy, or that Jabril Cox maybe hasn't fully recovered from the ACL injury, which he got hurt earlier in the year than what happened with Michael Gallup, but those are comparing two separate players because Michael Gallup heals slowly due to a certain medical condition he has. Someone told me in the comments of the previous video, but that's why he's going to be out for a little bit longer. So if it were up to me, I would say that Anthony Barr, I would like him, me personally, as a rotational veteran piece, not really as a starter, because I don't want my rookies and young players to get stunted in their growth unless they're not playing well. And there's a possibility that Anthony Barr doesn't play well, and we got to be honest with ourselves there. However, you got to help Micah out, and you got to help these young guys out so they're not, being left out on the wayside to be like, okay, you guys got to, do everything yourselves. You got to learn it yourself. And Dan Quinn's done a remarkable job with these young guys, so I'm not super worried there. But that would be your downside to adding an Anthony Barr, would be you probably run the risk of having one of these young guys or two not have a chance to really get that NFL experience, which, could be a curse and a blessing depending on what happens. But there's still plenty of time to figure out what the Cowboys want to do with this roster. There's plenty of other position groups that you have to ask yourself, okay, what can we do there? And, I'm not the only one that wanted an extra linebacker here. A lot of other people in the Cowboys community wanted to add an additional linebacker, even through the draft as well. I know we added 2 guys, which I really like, but again, you're banking on late round guys being key contributors immediately, which they're not going to be. So that's another reason why you do sign Anthony Barr, because it doesn't give them that added pressure, and then we end up wondering, why in the hell did we not sign someone? And this is the repeating cycle, is that we expect these guys out of the draft to come in day one and be that guy. But being real, you can't expect that, especially from late round picks. Yes, there have been late round picks that have had great impacts early on in their career. That is no question whatsoever. That's happened in NFL history. But, you are pretty much trotting out the same team like last year that has not the same, cohesion. But I kind of see where the Cowboys are going with this team. So, for me, I think you could bring in an Anthony Barr, and you don't have to rush your 2 rookies to being very important key contributors, and if they mess up, then you're like, well, what the hell are we doing? Shouldn't we have added Anthony Barr? But even if you add him and then you end up cutting him, that's another thing too. It's a 1-year deal, and I think that's what the Cowboys are looking for. If it's anything longer than a 1-year deal, then that's signaling something to me, and that could probably be like, okay, he's your LVE replacement. But again, I'm not super high on, the Cowboys actually doing anything in free agency. But if they do sign him, that would be a interesting signing, and I would welcome it because, listen, you can't have enough veterans on this team, especially with how the Cowboys are kind of constructing the roster. So, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Didn't want to go on for long enough, but with that out of the way, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.